Hey, hello. Yeah, first of all, thanks for watching. I hope you're having a nice day. And yeah, this is going to be a vlog. Listen, there are some games that I've picked up, but you have to wait until like next week until I show those. And yeah, today decided today to actually record like a vlog or just record like something about actually this, because yeah, where to begin? I kind of am considering like reorganizing these two Billy bookcases for a very specific reason, because I want to have some space like here at the top to actually display some other games. Which games I want to display, you will see at some point. But yeah, I want to have like an empty row up here. But the tricky thing is, and that's one of the reasons why I've been sitting here for quite a bit, is that first of all, like I have to move like everything like one down, because I don't want to really change it up. Like the way it's displayed currently is like three rows of like NES games, then a row of like Super Nintendo games. This is my whole Super Nintendo collection. Then here it starts to get a little bit like random. I have like a couple, or this row is like housing all the Nintendo 64 games. And besides that, below there, the lowest row is actually housing like my PlayStation 1 games. And the other one, like here, like right down here, actually has some random bits and bobs. For example, some board game cards and Master System cartridges, cards, and Mega Drive Genesis cards, and some Atari 2600 games. And actually, there's a very small sub collection in there as well. It is my Sega Saturn sub collection. This is the only Sega Saturn game that I own. It is Police Knots. Also, not really planning on getting more Sega Saturn games. But yeah, this is one of the games that I really wanted to have. Besides it, yeah, really like very cool looking, and it has like a just the case itself. It's also very cool, man. That cover art. Look at this, and yeah, there's a like an art book in here, which is pretty cool, and yeah, for Police Knots. It's a game that I actually never played, maybe a little bit. Checked it out for maybe a couple minutes or so, but I wanted to have this one so I could maybe at some point like actually play this version, but then with the translation patch. And I picked that one up in 2010 in Akihabara, Tokyo. Also very fond memory of that. Picked it up in Super Potato, which is one of the bigger or well-known game stores over there. From my understanding though, like current day, it is still like very fun to go there, but definitely a way different experience, and most likely also a bit more expensive. Anyway, like the bottom row is just like very random. There are a couple of issues, and that is maybe why I've been sitting here for a bit. Is the PlayStation 1 games? It's all except for maybe one or two games, like all NTSC, and it just so happened to be that they all fit like in a single row like this. So it's kind of nice, like a display, but also kind of tricky to actually look at. And also with the black cases and like the spines, yeah, it doesn't read that very well. But I don't think that is like a very like difficult or like an easy thing to actually solve. But yeah, I kind of like that row, like down there. But also, if I move everything actually one down, that means that I need to find like another place for those PlayStation 1 games. And I don't want to move those PlayStation 1 games to like a different spot. Because it's a very cool collection. Listen, we're making a trip down memory lane with this video, I think. Because, it has like all the Final Fantasy games in there. Like a couple years or so ago, 2 or 3, I started like heavily on collecting like PlayStation 1 games and getting like a a decent collection for that console. But yeah, of course, like my main focus was actually getting like Final Fantasy VII, which is definitely one of my top tier games. Like a game that I would rank like in my personal top 10, just from like experiences and like the memories that I have with like Final Fantasy VII. So yeah, man, Final Fantasy VII. I know that a lot of people really like Final Fantasy VII. Lately, yeah, I've been thinking more and more actually about like replaying it. Not even just a remake, just this one. Maybe the PlayStation 1 version. I do have it on the Switch. But yeah, I really want to replay it and kind of relive it again. It's been a while since I think since the day that I actually finished it, I played it like here and there, maybe one time, maybe for like 30 or 40 hours or so, but never really finished it until the end again. And that's the thing with Final Fantasy VII, like the memory that I have of playing this game when it actually came out. It was not the NTSC version, it was a PAL version, so this is not my original copy. Uh, but yeah, Final Fantasy VII, the memory that I have of Final Fantasy VII is that while I was playing this, I was also in school, and there were two other friends that were also very invested in Final Fantasy VII. And I want to say we spoke about games before that, but especially with Final Fantasy VII, we spoke like a lot. We talked a lot about Final Fantasy VII, like in between like school sessions or on the schoolyard. We even went to one of their homes and actually played Final Fantasy VII and just checked out where they were. But yeah, I remember at the time, like I was really talking with my friends, and actually during that time we were about to move to a new place, the place where I currently actually live, the city that is. But yeah, man, that must have been probably like over 30 years or so ago. Now, let's say 28. It might have been like a very long time. But I remember like when moving, we actually had to stay maybe for a week or a bit longer or so at a different home. Like it was one, like a home at like one of those vacation places. So it was a kind of difficult time, like saying goodbye to my friends, because this place, this city was definitely further away, like quite far away from the other place. So also going to like a different school and um, going to like a higher education type of deal. But yeah, I just remember playing this game. The only thing that I had was my PlayStation 1 and Final Fantasy 7, and I was nearing the end, and it was such an adventure getting like all the summons and leveling up your materia and actually beating. I did beat and complete the Final Fantasy 7 during my stay at that vacation home. So it is so ingrained in my memory of like where I was sitting and playing this game. It's so cool. Like it is amazing to me, like how a game, besides like it being super awesome, can actually have like a memory attached to it like that. So yeah, why I'm talking about that, like I had this plan to actually move all of this like down here, but to me the biggest question is like where do I show my PlayStation 1 games, because they kind of have to move to a different spot, but I don't know where, and that's a tricky thing. But I also like it that it is actually like in this Bullet bookcase, because it's somewhat like it is somewhat of a centerpiece. Like definitely, I want to say like everything that is in here is very dear to me, and I value like a ton. But yeah, where does it go? I don't know. And also, while sitting here, I'm looking at a couple of games and suddenly like, yeah, that is a cool memory, and oh yeah, this game and that game. And yeah, one of the solutions could be like, yeah, buy another Billy bookcase. but yeah, to me that is definitely not like a solution. Not especially in this room. And also, I like the restriction of like, okay, these are the Billy bookcases that I have. This is what I have to use to display my collection, and I can't display everything. The thing is, when I buy a new Billy bookcase, I will buy more games to fill it out or get like games from a bin that I don't necessarily want to display and just fill it out. It becomes like too much, and I don't know. Having like a restriction to me is important. Like that to me is makes it maybe a bit more fun and challenging, and something like maybe it's more like a museum piece, like a small library museum type of deal where you have this selection of games that you want to display. It is not everything, but it's curated, and I like that. And it's something that I, you know, kind of to some extent spoke about, like with the Xbox 360. I only have one shelf uh, that displays like a couple of like Xbox 360 games, around like 44-ish, and that is a very curated shelf, and I could like add another shelf, and it's something that I might do, but that means that I need to be able to fill it out with around like 40, 44 type of games that are heavily curated. So yeah, man, it's tricky. Another thing that I struggle kind of with, because I want to display a couple of games like in the upper row that also hold like a very special memory to for me, and I want to display them like up here because I could make space like down here, maybe in the center for a bit, and display them there, but that wouldn't do them justice, because what I want to place here is just very cool. And then the other problem, I know I'm making this very difficult, and again, maybe you do have like an opinion about this. The other thing is like I want to move so I have to move like the NES games like one down, and to me that's also like a big decision, because I like having the NES games like up here, because that is definitely where it started out for me, like the NES games, like getting fascinated and interested in like video games. It is not the only console where it started. But yeah, to me, it's kind of like, okay, if I move these one down, like there's a very specific purpose on why they actually have like this real estate like right here, and why I have like 3 rows of like NES games. It is one of my biggest collections even, and at some point I kind of wanted to have like a complete collection, but sadly that is somewhat out of the window. Never say never, but it's very unlikely. Um, but yeah, moving the NES games one down, I know it's just one row, but to me it says something about the library, like the how curated it is. And I'm really thinking about like, okay, what I want to display up here in the upper row, does that like supersede the NES collection? I hope you know what I mean. It is tricky because yeah, the NES, man, that is where it started. And when I look at this collection, so many fantastic games. There's definitely some shovelware in there, but there's just so much, similar to like Final Fantasy. When I look at it, then I'm like, yeah, I remember that game. I remember playing that game. I remember this. I remember always wanting to play this game. And yeah, any NES, man. Besides that, for me personally, for game development, it's also a couple of games here that are in here that really inspire me, and that really, when I analyze them, taught me like how to make pixel art, how to improve my pixel art. Let's see, for example, this one right here. This one is special to me. It is Batman. Uh, Besides it being like an awesome game made by Sunsoft, like Batman the video game, it the pixel art, it is so fantastic, man. It is so cool looking how they use like some of the pixel art techniques in here to create like depth, to create like yeah, some, yeah, quite a bit of like detail like in the environment, and even like the animation of like the character and like Batman with the cape. It is so awesome. It is such an awesome looking game. um, Sadly, I never finished it. I attempted to, I made an attempt though, but need to try it again at some point. It's super difficult, but it's so good. Like, it's so good as an experience. Just the music.
Het is soms een beetje lastig om die om beneden in te drukken en niet een directie. Moet ik dat oppakken? Nee. Die lui zijn te irritant.
See, this is the thing that I love with displaying it like this. Like Goonies 2. Also, such a fantastic game like Goonies. Goonies 2 is one of the games that came with the NES that I got way back then. Besides, like a couple of other games that I will try to highlight, even maybe in this video. But yeah, Goonies 2. To me, the memory with Goonies 2 is like I was addicted to this game. It was such an amazing experience. Walking around, like finding the NPCs, not sure what to do and where to go to, and even, yeah, back then while playing it, I'm not sure like what my age was, but I had to decipher like the English. Like, I really didn't understand anything at all with what the NPCs were saying, or maybe to some extent though. But that it was such a mysterious type of adventure, like a game, like a lot of like exploration. Um, but yeah, I remember like with Goonies 2, my memory when I think of Goonies 2, besides like me playing it and really enjoying it and playing it a ton, was actually getting to like the final bit in this game. You know, you have to dive around like underwater, and I think at some point you have to like place like a bomb or something. Um, Maybe C4 even. I can't quite remember, but I want to say you have to blow something up, or you need to open up like a locker, like a gate to actually, you know, save like the mermaid. And I think I was just missing out on one item. If it was a bomb or like a key, I just had to find like a key or like another bomb, but I didn't know what to do. So I was actually thinking this game is bugged. I can't continue, or I missed something like in the beginning. So I just started playing over it again, just from the beginning, just all the way through, and didn't mind it at all, but got so much enjoyment and entertainment out of this game. Such a fantastic game, like Goonies 2.
This is fine, this is good. Oh man, I hope that door unlocks when you just have like the 6 Goonies. If it doesn't unlock, I will check with the walkthrough what you actually have to do. Is this the end? This is the end. There you go. I love you, Mikey. Thanks.
Another fantastic game that's also like in this row. Where are you? It should be here. Well, another one is of course like Castlevania. Also, you know, Castlevania is one of my bigger like inspirations for some of the games that I want to make at some point. But yeah, Castlevania. Back then, never got further than like the second stage, or not even got to Medusa. Such a difficult game to play when I was younger. Yeah, of course, here it is. Metal Gear, man. one of my all-time favorites on the NES. I know it's not like the best version, but back then, Metal Gear, we didn't know about the MSX version. It was just like Metal Gear, and we didn't pay mind that you were playing as the big boss, correct? Because it's not Solid Snake, correct? Or no, you're playing as Solid Snake. I really like Metal Gear, but sometimes the lore. No, you're playing as Solid Snake. No, are you? No, yes, you are. I don't know. Because that's the whole thing with the Phantom Pain. Are you playing as Big Boss? You might be. Well, you know what? I don't care because at the time I didn't care at all about it. A similar thing happened with Metal Gear, by the way, with the thing that happened with the Goonies. Is that at some point, I think at some point you get like or you have like the IR goggles, and you have to walk through a desert. I think there are like scorpions scattered around, and you need maybe like a card, like a level 5 card or a level 6 card, but I just didn't know where to go, man. I just didn't understand what I had to do and where to go. And I know the dialogue doesn't really say that like that much like in that game. But yeah, it also really didn't help out that I was not really able to like read the text and was kind of able to decipher it. But again, was thinking, I'm stuck. I kind of missed something. Have to replay it over again. I think that's something that I did like a lot back then, like playing the games like again and again and again. You got so much value out of those games. But yeah, besides like Metal Gear, Castlevania, Goonies 2, we also had Russian Attack. But yeah, that is one that's up there like in a box. And we also had Bayou Billy, also very difficult, man. What a difficult game. It was like already like an achievement if you got like to the second stage with the car. I think after just you get like the walking around, then the shooting, and then the car. Like I might have seen like the car once that segment, and then just died, and that was it. But yeah, we had like that one, and I don't think we actually had like Contra. Contra is something that we rented, I think, later. And what is the other game again? I still need to get that one. Low G, man. It is up there. Like I'm not gonna pick it out. But yeah, to me, that's the thing that I like about this. By the way, it is organized. Not it is not alphabetized, but it's more categorized by developer or more genre. I think with the NES, it's more like developer or like publisher. And the thing that I like about it, sometimes it's a bit annoying, but the thing that I like about having it this way is that I actually need to search for like Metal Gear. And the thing that happens is when I want to search for a game, I kind of see like other games and like, oh yeah, that one. For example, Totally Red. I might have played this one back then, but this is the thing. This is the game that I always saw like in the magazines. Whenever you open up like a magazine, like you saw like screenshots of this game, and it looked awesome. But I never got a chance to play it back then. But that's the thing that I like about like just browsing around and seeing like the games and thinking, oh yeah, that game, and oh yeah, that's a game that I'm never gonna play. I think we also had like Kiko Cubicle, by the way. Such a fantastic game for the NES. But yeah, I like that. Similar to like the Super Nintendo. My Super Nintendo collection is really not that large. It's just a single row. I want to say it should be around like 75 or like 80 games. And of course, I have a list with any Super Nintendo games, but this is not like a main priority. Not something that I really am actively collecting for. I do pick up some games like here and there. I'm not sure if hey, maybe this is actually like a secret game pickup video, because I'm not sure if I actually showed this one that I picked up, like Tiny Toon Buster's Bust Loose. This one, it is a very recent addition, similar to Plock. I might have shown like Plock in a game pickup video. But yeah, sometimes it's more like, oh yeah, you know, maybe I should pick that one up, or I see like a very good deal. There are still like a couple of games that I really want to add to it. Sunset Riders, for example. But yeah, I collect like the NTSC Super Nintendo games, and it's just very difficult nowadays to actually pick those up. And yeah, not really considering like importing them, so it's just something that I need to see. But yeah, Sunset Riders is something that I would like to add to my collection, but you know, it's a bit more on the expensive side. It should be around like €100 or so, and it might be more like a nice to have, although it is a cool game. Um, yeah, with the Super Nintendo, it's weird, man. I like that console. I love it. I do like the NES way more than the Super Nintendo, but the top tier games on the Super Nintendo are really like top tier. Maybe at some point I should get like a proper version of this one, but yeah, Wild Guns is definitely a cool one. This is the strictly limited release. Like it will do, but I would love and prefer like the original version of that one. Um, and yeah, for example, yeah, I'm really happy with my Super Nintendo collection. Like Chrono Trigger, such a fantastic game. I do need to replay this one at some point. I mostly played like the DS version. Another one that also has kind of like a crazy story attached to it, though, but not too crazy. It's not something that I played in the past because this never got like a PAL release, but it's Earthbound. And yeah, Earthbound. Yeah, no, there's actually a story attached to like Earthbound. Um, Maybe I'm not sure if I can find out like when I purchased it, but a long time ago, a long time ago. That is for sure. How much I paid for it? Maybe €180. And I remember back then when I saw it pop up at a local marketplace like Earthbound, I knew I wanted to play it and I knew I would enjoy it. But when I saw it for 180, I even remember like texting my brother and saying like, "Hey, this game popped up, and yeah, it is expensive, and I don't know, should I buy it? Yes or no?" So really was considering it, and yeah, I actually pulled the trigger and purchased it. Very happy that I did. But when I got it, I never, I never touched it, and there should be like a full playthrough, like or there should be like a playlist with a full playthrough of like Earthbound, me playing that on the stream. Um, but I want to say maybe 4 or 5 years or so ago, I finally played it, and I purchased it like a long time ago. I waited for playing like Earthbound for such a long time. Um, I don't know specifically why, but something was actually holding me back. But when I booted it up, I decided like, okay, let's play this actually on the stream, and it might have been one of the cooler games to actually stream and play together, like with the chat and commenting about it, and people actually joining the chat and sharing their story with like Earthbound. It was such a fantastic game to play on like a stream. But I actually remember like Earthbound, I was very invested in it and played it a ton, finished it like on the stream. Um, but yeah, Earthbound, what an experience. And I remember actually on the stream, when I was nearing the end, I really couldn't believe what the game was actually doing, and it had like a lot of like emotional, like a quite a like an emotional impact on me. Um, yeah, I got quite emotional with the ending of like Earthbound.
Our travels together end here. I must return to Dalam and use the experience for the good of my country. Ness, Paula, Jeff, let me demonstrate a strange power before I go. I realized this power as a child. Sigh, farewell, now. I will see you again someday. That's good.
That's the thing that I love with the older games, man. Although they might not be like the best looking games anymore. I know people hate or dislike like the pixel art. I know nowadays we have like games with such a high fidelity and with music and cutscenes and basically games nowadays, they look like movies, and they are also able to have that emotional impact. But when you start to think about that something is actually also possible with something like looking like this, like I'm not sure like how old this is, maybe 91-ish or so, that a game like that is able to pull that off, to get some like that reaction from me. That says something about like video games, and I think that is super awesome. That you don't need like all the bells and whistles and I don't know 4K 60 FPS HDR Hollywood AAA video games bullshit. That it's actually possible to do that with a game like this. That is like magical to me, man. So yeah, that's the thing that I like about this. So I'm not sure, long story short, I'm not sure what to do with my PlayStation 1 games, because when I look at the collection, it is also similar to like the Super Nintendo and Nintendo 64. I've not even talked about the Nintendo 64, but it is also kind of like a cool collection. The PlayStation 1, to me, it took a lot of effort to actually find those games and NTSC games, and it is just very unlikely that it will actually expand. It will maybe grow, but very slow. It will definitely, if I had like a game, I think it has already been like maybe, no, actually, yeah, last year was a game, I picked up like a game at a game convention. What was it again? Like Spider-Man. Like, I feel like maybe I add like a game a year or so to that collection. Because before Spider-Man, it might have been like also like a year or so that I actually added something to that collection. But yeah, last year at a game convention in Zwolle, I purchased this one for 10 euros. And yeah, that was a very good deal. Very happy that I actually own Spider-Man on the PlayStation. But it's just so unlikely that I will actually add something to it. Not even by importing it. Like, importing is just out of the window, man. I'm very scared to actually import something nowadays. And also for PlayStation 1. Reproductions have gone like way better. Maybe you do have like experience with this though. Like a couple days ago, I've talked about this before, like I collect like the From Software games who really want to have that sub-collection, and for any console. Like I just want to own all the From Software games for, PlayStation 1, GameCube, Xbox, like I just want to own them all. English though. NTSC has my preference. If there's really no other way, PAL version, but I'm not gonna buy like the Japanese versions. But yeah, there's a game that I really want to add that is actually Echo Knight. Besides like Kingsfield 1, I do own Kingsfield 2 very happy that I purchased this one. This was also another like blast to play like on the stream. Yeah, this was also very cool to play on the stream. Amazing experience. But yeah, besides like Kingsfield 2, I'm still missing out on Kingsfield 1 and Echo Knight. Echo Knight, is it fair to call it kind of like an horror-esque, horror light, maybe adventure horror type of game? But yeah, a couple of days ago I was browsing Vinted and saw like a copy of it, and jewel case, like booklets, it all looked brand new. But yeah, apparently it was a reproduction. The price was also kind of good to be true because it was 100, and I want to say Echo Knight should be around like 110 or so, maybe higher. It's expensive, not as expensive as Shadow Tower though. Shadow Tower. But yeah, while looking at the listing, it was a reproduction, but I could not tell you that it was a reproduction because disc actually looked like the label looked like it was the official disc. It looked like the official case. And this is something that I've been seeing more and more nowadays. Also some Parasite Eve games like being listed as a reproduction, but looking like it is actually the legit copy. And from my understanding, even like some of the reproductions have like the black disc. So it's very difficult to discern if it's like a real copy or not. And that really makes it very tricky to actually import those games because, yeah, for example, like Echo Knight is, let's just say 140. But yes, Shadow Tower, another From Software game that I really want to have and play, is around like $300 or $400. And it would be kind of shitty if I had to import that one and get like a reproduction or not even know if it is a reproduction or not. Anyway, so yeah, collecting for the PlayStation 1 is also very tricky. But yeah, what to do? What to do? I just don't know what to do with the PlayStation 1 games. See, I know what to do with like the Marvel Champion cards. You know, the bottom of the house is my Marvel Champion cards. This is one of my favorite board games, by the way. I really like Marvel Champions. It is starting to itch to actually play it again. It's been a while since I played Marvel Champions. I'm not like big into board games, but started doing that like maybe 2 years or so ago, and it's been a while since I played a board game. Not the biggest fan because it's very difficult for me, like with all the rules and such, and sometimes it's a lot of work. But Marvel Champions is just a game to get really, yeah, it is easy to get into, but also can get overwhelming. But it's a fun card game. But yeah, it's easy to actually move those to like a different place. But yeah, the PlayStation 1 games, man, space is limited. I just don't know what to do. You know, besides like moving the NES games one down, I know it's kind of weird to say like, okay, well, does it actually say like the importance of the NES games because I'm making space for something else? It is moving down one. Everything has to move down one. I might just have to pull the trigger and actually do it and just maybe experience and see how it actually looks like. But I just don't know what a good way is to store like PlayStation 1 games. Maybe I could actually, maybe that's actually a thing, maybe like having a very cool looking, like a wooden CD rack for like the PlayStation 1 games, because that's a nice thing with the NTSC games, by the way, is the jewel case. Because yeah, PAL games, they come in this weird case that is always like broken. But yeah, the jewel case is kind of cool. Maybe that's actually a solution. Like have a like a disc rack like over there or something. The troubles that you face as a collector, you know, the issues that you need to solve. It's very difficult. It's very difficult being a game collector. Besides like the reproductions, the question is, where do I store my games? Because the solution is not like in something like this, because this is actually holding the stuff that should be there, but I never see this and I want to display this. I hate it that whatever is in here is in here. But yeah, the solution is also not to remove the PlayStation 1 games and actually move them in here. Maybe for a short while, but you know how that goes. You move it in there, you forget about it. Similar thing to what happened to this, like it stays in there, but I want to show it because what I want to show to me is very dear to me. So yeah, maybe the question is more like, hey, maybe you do have like an opinion on how to showcase like PlayStation 1 games like properly. Like, of course, it should be like one of those racks where you just place them in. Maybe I could have like a row that's like on rotation, like once in a while just show them when you play them and don't show them when you don't play them. Also, Nintendo 64 games are very difficult to display, but I might have a solution for that though, like how I want to display them and leave them in here. But they are all like in a row. You can kind of see it like up here. They are all like stacked up like all the way to the back, so I can't even get to the games that are in the back. But I am like looking around for, or I want to make like a tray, so you can just move the tray out of there and actually show them and look at them. But I need to find like a good sized tray to actually be able to do that. Anyway, I think maybe you have like an idea for the PlayStation 1 games, but yeah, the tricky part is like the one solution is just simply like keep them there, display them somewhere else, or kind of display them or put them like in a box like this for a short while. But that's tricky. See, that's the tricky part with the focus of not adding more Billy bookcases, because to me, that is not the answer. And maybe the fun part is actually figuring this out, like how can I move it around for a little bit. But this is something that I've been thinking about like for quite a while. And I do think it is almost time to make that choice. Maybe in the next video you will actually see the result. Who knows? But yeah, that's actually gonna do it. Yeah. Let me know if you have like a game that really has like a very specific memory attached to it that you would like to share. It's always awesome to hear stuff like that. And yeah, also let me know if you have a solution for the PlayStation 1 games. And no, not selling them. Selling is not an option. I really want to have this collection. Yeah, it is also a very curated selection. To some extent though, for a little bit. Maybe this is fun. I don't know. It's the Animaniacs. Listen, I like the Animaniacs, but I am not sure about this game though. But yeah, again, thanks for watching. And also, thanks everybody for the likes and the subscribes in the last couple of weeks. Highly appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed this video and have a nice day. See you all later. Bye.